Grow up on the streets. You start thinking you're invincible. Nothing can touch you. You never really lose. Go to arrest some freak, find out you aren't as invincible as you thought.
Hi, this is Ed from Sapphire, and welcome to another video for gameplay. We're going to show you one of the latest games with using a Sapphire video card and talk about what we got going on here. Our game is Murdered Sole Suspect. You know, there's a common theme that's beginning to appear in video games here lately. You start off as dead. That's an interesting change. I mean, I guess if you start as dead, dying in game doesn't mean as much. Well, you start off as dead. You're a city cop. You're the gritty detective type city cop, and you get killed. And the purpose of the game is your ghost is going to go around and try to solve this murder so that you can move on and be with your dead wife in heaven. The premise is actually pretty good, and this is really a throwback. There used to be, a long time ago, we used to see a lot of games that were what we termed interactive storytelling. This was where the game was essentially a book, and as you read the book, you actually took part in it. And this is what Murder Sole Suspect is. Murdered Sole Suspect is an interactive book that's very much on rails, okay? You're following a story, and you don't have a choice. You're going to follow the story. You have, in an era where we've got sandbox games everywhere, this has no sandbox to it. There's just none. And as a ghost, you have all sorts of little options. You can possess people, you can read minds, you can attempt to influence them. And as you start the game, you're told about all these great powers you're going to get as a ghost. And, well, they never quite live up to the promise of the great powers. So you're going to be traveling around trying to get a feel what people saw in an effort to solve your own murder. This is kind of cool. There's a lot of movies and stuff. This is obviously taken reference from. The game's interface has an iffy feel to it. It feels like a console that's been made PC friendly. At the beginning of the game, it says to press start. So there's still some console-esque feel to it, but overall the game plays fairly well on a PC. How well, you may ask? Well, we're playing this on an R9 270 at 1080, and we have maxed out the details. And as you can see, our gameplay experience is butter smooth. This is not a very demanding game. This is not a graphically impressive game. It's only using the Unreal Engine. It's got some neat effects. But this is not a game that's going to push your hardware very far. This is also not a game that the gameplay interface is going to be something that's going to make you go, this is amazing. This is a game that's about the story. It's about following along, trying to solve the murder, and see if you can figure out what happened. And as you can see here, we're looking at the notepad. We're trying to figure out what happened. Try to get a feel for which of these clues are important. Now, this is where some of the problems with this game begin to crop up. You'll be presented with options to decide which clues are the most important. And there's no consequence if you get it wrong. You just go back and try again, and through process of elimination, you're eventually going to get it right. So we're gonna try this though. We're gonna run around as a ghost, and we're going to see what kind of things we can do. So we're going to possess some bodies here. We're going to read some minds. With the mind reading, you'd hope for something really cool. It's not. Most people tend to have pretty boring thoughts. So we're going to go through this here and see what we can do. Is this the most relevant clue? Let's find out.
That man in the hood.
Ah,
Outside.
yeah, there it
Looking
is.
up at the top apartment.
We
on the
might have
fourth
hit
floor, I
one
think.
here. And she's recalling seeing the stuff take place. And here we go. All right. So this is how you're going to progress throughout the game. Now, there is action segments that take place between this, such as when you're going to have to go up into the apartment building that you got pushed out of. So we're getting ready to go up into the apartment building. We're going to find out what's going on up there. What's interesting is they've taken, like I said, from a lot of sources. So these apartment buildings, you can't go in unless the door's been opened for you. Luckily, the sergeant's going to open the door, and he's going to make it easy for us to get in. And then once we get in, we can move around the building pretty well at will, with the ability to go through walls and just look around. So let's enter the apartment. Now we need to get up to the 4th floor. We need to go to where we were murdered, and we're going to look for clues. And this is when you're going to get introduced to some of the action scenes and sequences. Now, while the graphics are not state of the art, they're not amazing and ridiculous. Oh, by the way, this who you don't see but was there is going to be something very important shortly. The graphics aren't bad. And they've got some neat effects, such as the ability to step through walls. Now, we're going to go here. We're going to come into this stairwell. And that's when we're going to first encounter one of the demon spirits. These are bad spirits that want to drag us down into the abyss and want to destroy us, even though we're dead. They want to destroy our spirits. So to get away from them, we've got a couple of options. We can obviously run, but the other option is we can hide. You see, we can actually use these. You see these like past echoes of other ghosts? We can use these to hide from the spirit, or from the demon. And because he can't see us, he'll eventually give up. And we can hop from each of these echoes to the next, so that it's difficult for him to track us. It's difficult for him to find us. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to hop, and then we're going to sit quietly. And this is in the tutorial. This is giving you some explanation, but this is how it plays later in the game as well. And if we wait a little bit, we're going to see that he eventually hops out. Now, to get to a demon, what you want to do is you want to come up behind him. And again, this is going to come, the control for this is going to feel a little console-esque as we do this. We're going to come up behind a demon. Notice we can see through walls. We can see where the demon is looking. So when he's looking away from us, I'm going to walk over here. Now, we got to sneak up behind him. All right, so here's what we do. We sneak up behind him, and we use the R key. You're going to kind of grab him. When you do this, it's going to quickly give you a key combination with a mouse button that you have to press. That's the console-esque feel to me. Having to do that confluence of keyboard and mouse and make everything work together, and there's a little time delay. You've got to be quick. So it's got a console-y feel to it, and we have to deal with that. All right. So we're up here, we're looking around, and again, some of the ghost feel is going to come into this. We've got to the top floor of the apartment, and we're trying to open up various clue segments so that we can use this to figure out what's going on. So we're going to possess this cop here, try to get some more information. We're looking for what's been here. What's going on. Some tenants are missing, in fact, and that's a big clue. That's information we need, such as Cassandra. Cassandra is a character you're going to see later in the game. She's a psychic and a medium, and here she is. And you're going to find the residue of why she's here. Now, as you watch this, okay, you can see we've got to figure out what's going on here as a way to open up to see what's going on. And as you can see, we're going to make some selections that don't make a lot of sense. We know she's hiding. Is she calm? No, she's not calm. And let's see, she's hiding, and is she confident? No, she's not confident. See what I'm saying? There's no consequence for the wrong choice. We just have to go back and try again. This to me was really a letdown because the detective story, the base story is pretty good. The way it's portrayed isn't half bad, but they really could have gone a long way to making this an exciting game. And you can see this is a game of move to cutscene is what this is. You're going to do some stuff, you're going to move to a cutscene, you're going to do something else, you're going to move to a cutscene, and it's very much on the rails. You're not going to do a lot of open world exploration. It just doesn't exist, but it does let you get some backstory. Now again, graphically, for those of you that are interested, this is just not hardcore as graphically. It does not take a lot. This is a 270X. This is running at maximum detail, and we are getting some beautiful frame rates at 1080. I mean, we're just doing gorgeous at 1080.
You're under arrest.
And this is the Dual X even. We're not even running the highest end. So, as you can see, this is an okay game if this is the kind of game for you. If you're looking for something that's a lot of direct action, this isn't going to do. This is, like I said, on a rail, cutscene to cutscene, but it's still a lot of fun, especially if you get into detective horror type stories. It can be a lot of fun, and it's not a lot of demanding. So this is Ed with Sapphire saying, enjoy, go out and try it. Murdered. Sole suspect. Well, you know, it's for some people, it's not for everyone. If it's not for you, open the back window and sneak out. Until next time.